Hi, hope everyone's doing well. Sorry I look so disheveled. It's been a long day. But we are now down to court cards. Those are the pages, the knights, the queens, and the kings, which is wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. And if you don't know who I am Melody. I am the owner of WindDancer-Treasures. You can go and find me on Google. So if you ever need to find me, that's okay. We're going to first start with getting a little understanding about the court cards. The court cards represent people. Yeah, there are people that we interact with. Stop, guys. Did you hear me? Show you guys a little of my stuff that I have. I'll put it right behind me. When we learn about these cards, when we see them in readings, we try to translate it. But if we know more about what is behind the cards, then we are more apt to be able to read the cards for the person who's asking the question. So what we need to do is see the cards, what the meaning is when it's a wand or a cup or sword or pentacle. So we need to understand also that if it is a male picture, we have a tendency to say it's a man. Well, it's not necessarily a man. Okay? It can be someone who has the trait that is either masculine or feminine. I want this to change. Okay, I want live chat, and it's not wanting to give me live chat. There we go. So I'm going to type a little hello so that people can go ahead and do their thing. All right. So when we think of the cards, we have a tendency to assume that it's a male person or a female person. And the knights and pages, some people call the pages female and the knights male. So it depends on the reader. When the cards can also represent, even though they're people, can represent events. Like the pages, they can be those who are, and knights. Knights can also do that. Be either fast-moving energy or to bring messages, or it's someone who will just bring messages to you. So we have those. And the suit cards carry their own personality. And we're going to find that out today too. And we will revisit all the suits within to see what the personality traits are of each suit. Okay. Well, the personalities of the wands, they are charismatic, They have a lot of energy. They also, well, hello. And they also represent those who have extreme drive. Um, they are also very passionate about what they do. And um, if it's gone to the extreme, it will display itself as self-centered, um, self-absorbed, um, always wanting to be the center of attention. And but they they are a warm personality. They have, um, but they can be angry. They can turn angry. They can make rash decisions. They can also be immature or even cruel for that matter. So we're going to take a little look at the page. Oops, the page of Wands. Okay. It's what looks his staff quite a ways away from himself. Okay. And this is somebody who is not quite gained the knowledge. So logically, this person is very young. And they are mostly the supporting people, the ones who help support us on our activities and things like that. So that's what they do. Um, they they have curiosity, and they are skeptics, and they are courageous, and they are fearless. So when we look at this, we find that he's a young person who is just learning life. And we can think of that as the, so oh, sorry. We find that he's a young, okay, that he is in the age bracket where we're just learning. We're not quite adults. So I would say we're in the ages between 10 and 18 or 21 even. Okay, and that's what that represents. This card, when upright, it means courage. It means beauty. It means enthusiasm. It also is someone who is desiring power. And if it's upside down, unfortunately, it's cruel. Okay, he brokenhearted. It's domineering. I have to go and turn down my other TV. No. I am so sorry. My dog stepped on the, so that caused a little hit loudness to my TV. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and talk about the knight. We're talking about a young individual. So he's older and he has gained some knowledge. Knights are volatile. They can try to think beyond their means or can seem unpredictable and chaotic. They're about action. They have one thing in mind and then they go with that. they can become extremely focused, but can be directed if they can be persuaded to be helpful. um, and if you can do that, they will give you all that they can to help support you. Now, the symbols on the knight, as you can see, he's on a rearing horse, and he has a red feather. So upright, we will find imagination, a helper, birth of a child, a passionate person, somebody who is a melancholy youth. But upside down, could be sensual, untruthful, or a thief. How did he get that fish in that cup? So we're going to go ahead to the knight, and we know that the knights move either fast or slow, and have a tendency to not be uncontrolled, basically. So we already know this, and we know that they're possibly a young man. But remember, it could be a young woman with the same traits, okay? Now, the symbols on this card is the fast-moving, or the slow-moving horse. Sorry, he's just walking slowly. So it's moving slowly, dreaming. He's dreaming about where he's going. And he is often distracted. Okay. Now, the wings on his helmet is associated with Hermes, and it also means messages from the divine. The fish connected with, which is hard for me to see, but there's a fish right in front of the horse. It's the connection with water. It is also emotions and the human soul. Upright, he's a graceful, sensitive dreamer, okay, who brings messages. He's a messenger, okay, and or who brings a proposition to you or an invitation, okay. But upside down, he's again an idle person because he's taking his time. He's not really in a hurry to go anywhere. He's untruthful. He's a swindle. He is a trickster. He is probably giving you a risky proposition. I would not, if upside down, say jump on that, because there's something else we just don't know. Okay. Now we're going to move to the Queen. Okay, the Queen of Cups. She's a beautiful lady. This is a woman or a man with these traits. Okay. She has mermaids right down at the bottom of her throne. And this is also associated with water, okay, emotions and the soul. The elaborate cup, the big cup, if you notice, it's very large. She has she values relationships and emotions. Okay, this is her main purpose. Her posture is passive and very feminine. Okay, now upright, she's an intuitive woman. Okay, she's probably psychic and very devoted. She's a person who would absolutely help the person who's asking the question or asking for advice. Okay, but upside down, She could be a perverse woman. Okay. She could be um, intelligent but dishonest. Okay. She could be immoral or untrustworthy. Okay. Now, here's the king. His throne is actually on top of the water. Okay. And that's probably the first thing you see. So this is a mature man. Okay. He has gone through all the other pieces where it's the, the page and in the night, and he has mastered his craft. So he is now floating on water. His throne is. So that is experience in navigating, okay, relationships and emotions, okay? And the fish, which is in the background, oh, sorry, that's in the background, is the soul. It's communication with the divine, because water is and fish seem to be in that bracket. His posture is balanced, okay, and he balances the past along with the future ideas. He's ready to move into action. Okay. Upright, it's a religious man. He's kind. He's considerate. He's responsible. He's artistic. He is also skilled in law and trade. All right, but upside down, he is very powerful and he knows his power. Okay, and he is crafty. He can be volatile. He can be fierce. He can have a calm exterior, but he could also be a double dealer. So he is somebody to actually watch if you see in a card reading, okay? We're just gonna hop into the swords. Okay, swords are logical. Okay, they are logical thinkers. They are problem solvers. Okay, and they are plan makers. Okay, all of these. They are witty and clever. They are intelligent and excellent communicators. I wish I was today. But they can be cold-hearted and very distant because they do keep to themselves. Okay. They can sense the weakness of others. Okay. And they can tend to have sharp tongues and use very cutting words when they want to get a point across or get their attention directed towards something else. Okay. The wind in this card is the symbol for not knowing his own mind. Okay. Being tossed to the wind or by the wind. So there's no direction there. The large sword, which he looks to be having difficulty holding, it's beyond his ability to grasp it. So he needs to have more experience. Okay. He also needs to grow up. So when the card is upright, somebody who is in governmental service or law enforcement or even a diplomat could, or it could be espionage against you. So somebody who plans things against you. Okay. But upside down, it's an imposter. Okay. But it's an imposter that's been exposed. Okay. It's fertility. It's cunning. It's possible ill health or unexpected situations. The Knight. Now we see a horse that's running rather quickly. So we know that whatever the message is that he is giving is needs to happen quickly. All right. The fast moving horse, like I was saying, that's thoughts racing through the mind. Okay. And acting quickly on those thoughts. The birds and butterflies in this picture is a connection with the element of air. That's thought and logic. Upright. It's a handsome young man. Okay. And he has courage, integrity, a pure heart. And he's also it says passing of misfortune. I'm not sure what that means that I wrote down. I must have thought it real quick. Okay, but upside down, it's deceitful. It's boastful. Uh, uh, Somebody who brags. It's also can be cruel and jealous people, troublemakers, or self-destructive behavior. Okay. Now we have the Queen. I think she's beautiful. I love her throne. Now, the winged creatures, we again know, are associated with the element of air and logic. Logic's thoughts and ideas. Okay. The clouds, okay, on the cloak that's around her. You can see the little white clouds on her cloak. Okay. It's the connection with water. Okay. It's also represents valuing relationships. Upright, she's a quick-witted woman. She's intelligent. She's possibly childless or even a widow or is separated. Okay. In the reverse, this is a very miserable woman, only narrow-minded person. She could be a gossiper, she could be deceitful, and she might wish malice upon others. That's in reverse. We all have a few of these people in our lives. And now we come to the King. I think this is such a nice picture also. Okay. The butterflies, again, are associated with air, thoughts, ideas, and logic. The lion head with wings is the elevation of animal desires. Upright. Sorry. He's a man of authority. He is powerful and wise. He can be someone you would go for counseling, you know. He's loyal. He's imaginative. He has power and strength. Okay. He carries himself with an authoritative manner. And he also could mean lawsuits. Okay. But in the reverse, he is distrustful. Okay. Very suspicious man. He is harsh and malicious. He's conniving. He also could be plotting or have a destructive power to him. Now we're going to go ahead with the pentacles. Okay. Now, they are practical, loyal, and stable. Okay. They value money and resources and the creature comforts of life. Okay. And they also can be very good managers, but they can also seem very shallow. They know exactly where their money's going and for why their money's going in that direction. But in the stability of money and material things, they can have a dullness to them and find that their lives can be very stagnant. So we're going to go ahead and look at the symbols on this page. As we see, we have him holding the pentacle in his hand, all right? He is wearing a red wrap around his head, and this is theoretical knowledge, okay? His hip bag right there around his waist is him being prepared for whatever comes ahead. The floating pentacle, because you can see that it's gone between his hands. It's knowledge, but it's not fully integrated into his life. Upright. Okay. It's consciousness. It's a conscientious person, a scholar, an introvert. Okay. A messenger of good fortune. He also enjoys reflecting and possesses good management. And he's very confident. Okay. But upside down. Like I said, it's usually negative in the upside down. He's a decadent person. Waste. He's very wasteful and he's idle. He's a disappointment or has disappointed meetings with people. He's not one to give you a message very promptly. And a lot of times that's children. Okay, so this is slow moving. Okay, and very cautious. Okay, this is what that represents. Like, do I do this? Do I do this? What do I do? Okay, and the leaves on his helmet and armor, that is governed by practical concerns. So things that aren't out of the realm of possibility. Upright, it's integrity, it's responsibility, it's trustworthiness, it's how money is distributed, okay, where it goes. It's us in the reverse, though. He could be dull or careless. He could be conservative, idle, timid, stagnant, unimaginative. He could be neglectful. Okay, we're going to go right straight to the Queen. I'm hoping to be able to do a reading. Okay, here we go. Here's the Queen. She is beautiful. She is in a place that I love. Okay, her goat, it represents Capricorn, prosperity, and luxury. Okay, so it's life, nature, and blood. Okay, the simple garb that she is wearing in a very lush environment. So she is Mother Earth upright. Okay. She's nurturing. She's generous. She's charitable and noble. She provides security. She has practical talents. Okay. But upside down, she's a lazy woman. Okay. She is very dependent upon others. She is foolish with money. This is someone you meet. Could be someone in your life. Could be a stranger that made you smile, or someone who showed you something that was that amazed you. See, so when readings are done, they are done as a story or is read as a story. Each card individually is taken into account when certain questions are asked. You might hear the reader pause to take a look at the picture, but backing up from it instead of each individual card, they look at the entire picture. Are there more pentacles than there are wands? If it's more pentacles, we know the reading's a lot more about money. If it happens to be cups, emotions and relationships. And when we think of wands, we think of a fiery situation, something that needs action. Or we're looking at swords when it's something that can move either swiftly or not. So we know that these things, when we put these cards out, it actually tells us the story of what's happening. I have a 4-card spread that I like using, which is the person asking the question. So it's what's about this person in the situation. Then it's things they might not know about the situation, things they do know about the situation. And the very last card is the suggestion as to what they need to do in order to go forward. So again, we look at the cards. There was an instant where I did pull some cards. I did the 4-card spread, but Spirit guided the cards to be more about finances, and she wanted to speak uh, about her relationship. But it was funny because everything that the card showed was correct about her finances. Okay. So I redid it because Spirit wanted her to hear the message first. And I've had that incident more than once. So we are not the ones doing it. It's not me physically. It comes from Spirit. And they dictate basically what it is that I need to say to the other person who is asking the question. So it takes time. Don't ever get discouraged if you find yourself having issues reading the cards. Like I said, make sure when you buy yourself a deck that you take time to look at the cards and not look at the book. Okay? Don't do it. Because what I said to you about these cards and the keywords with it and the symbols might mean something different to you. Okay. I do take in the fact that the person who created the pictures had certain things in mind. So I always take that into account after I've gotten to know each card individually. The best way to do that is to use one card at a time. One card at a time every day. okay, until you get really acquainted with the card. So I'm going to hope to be with you next Wednesday. And we're going to talk about bringing in a class for tarot once a month. It will cost approximately $20 a month to get a couple hours worth of knowledge on how to read the deck and what to look for when reading. I don't know how many classes it's going to take, but I will have that posted, a link sent to Tarot 101 group page so that you're able to get into the class. It will be closed. People are going to have to pay in order to get to the videos. And I'm sorry. I wish I could do it free, but it would be hard to do so. So I am going to go ahead and say, have yourself a great night. I will see you next Wednesday to talk about the upcoming class and some spreads that you can use, okay? So I want to say God bless you guys, and go with your heart because it never lies. Bye-bye.